My name is Jessica Davis, and I've done my shadowing at Clinch Valley Medical Center, the social work and case management department. I mostly shadowed Nikki Allison, she's the head case manager, and Haley Bostick, who is a newer case manager. They took me around and they let me watch as they took care of their patients. And anytime they got a call from someone in the ER or another department, they would let me go with them and learn what they do. And they let me go with them and help them uh, walk through when they were talking to the nurses about patient care. The first day that I shadowed, we went to a little lady's room who had dementia, and her family member hadn't came and picked her up yet. She was supposed to be going home. Well, we found out that home was not safe for the little lady, so they were going to try to get her in hospice. Well, the hospice said that she was not a candidate to be just in hospice at home because her home environment was not safe. And the daughter that was coming to pick her up would not be there until 10:30 that night to pick her up, and she lived in Bristol, and her mom lived an hour and 30 minutes away in Raven. So they couldn't release her to go home with the daughter because she was going to just dump her and leave her. So they called the doctor who was taking care of her in the hospital, and got him to keep her inpatient another couple of days, and they got her into a nursing home. I thought that was really great. The second day that I worked with them, we got a call from the ER saying there was a man who had been picked up that was on drugs, and the police couldn't arrest him because they didn't have any probable cause to arrest him. So I learned some new terminology. An ECO is an emergency custody order, and that's what they had to get for the first little bit of his care. An ECO is just 4 hours of custody that the court will provide for a patient to be under the hospital's care until they can get them into a room or get them into a rehab facility if they're brought in by the police. A TDO is a temporary detainment order, and they can get that from a local organization. When we were dealing with this guy, we were trying to get it from Cumberland Mountain Services. And what you do is you just call them and you fill out the proper paperwork, get the admitting doctor to fill it out, and they'll go about going the extra mile to make sure that that patient gets taken care of. And then once you get that, then you can put them into a rehab center. But I didn't find out, what ended up with him. The head case manager that day had to go take care of a personal matter, so I didn't get to find out how that ended. The first day, another case that we dealt with was a man and wife who were wanting to fill out a living will, and they just broke my heart because they were you could tell that they were so in love, and they just cared about each other, and they didn't want to give up. And the little guy, he was having lung problems, and he said the only thing he wanted to do was go fishing and hunting. And he couldn't because of his lung problems. And he didn't look like a man who would cry. And he just broke down and started absolutely bawling. And that just broke my heart all to pieces. And the other little social worker that I was in there with, Haley, it tore her all to pieces too. But I really enjoyed my shadowing times. I wish I could have finished my hours. I learned a lot, and it makes me want to be a social worker even more. I'm really glad that I got the opportunity to shadow at Clinch Valley and learn the clinical side as well.